If you want to get good command over English and if you want to get English fluency faster, then you should know the 12 ingredients of English so you can prepare English fluency recipe. And more importantly, we are going to separate the major ingredients and the minor ingredients. So it will help you in your English fluency. If you are at beginner level or you have just started your English journey, so you are going to focus on majors. Out of these 12 ingredients, you are going to focus on 5 majors, and the rest of the ingredients, these 7 ingredients, you are not going to focus now. Yes, you will be focusing, but when you will get the upper intermediate level or when you will get the advanced level. So without wasting your precious time, let's separate these ingredients. We have 12 ingredients and let me name them. You have listenings, you have speaking, reading, writing, thinking. Then in study part, you have vocabulary, pronunciation, phrases, grammar, voice modulation, accents, deepened voice and gestures. You have these 12 ingredients to prepare, cook beautiful English fluency. But what are the 5 majors you are going to focus on if you are at a beginner level? Alright, so let me tell you. So the 5 majors you are going to focus on are: first is your listenings, second is your speaking, third your reading, fourth your thinking in English, and fifth is vocabulary. Now the rest of these 7 ingredients you do not need now. I would be telling the benefits and everything about these, but right now you just need to focus on these 5 ingredients and you need to forget about the minors, right? So now let's focus on that how these 5 major ingredients are going to help us in our speaking. So let's first start with listenings. Okay, so why listening is major? Why you have to focus on listenings only at first rather than other ingredients? Because listening is a data. Listening is a data which you need in your subconscious mind, which you need in your software, so you can reprogram your software in order to produce, in order to speak, right? So what listening is going to do? Listening is going to prepare. Okay, listening is going to reprogram your subconscious mind, so you will be automatically confident from inside and you will be able to speak. Something will be pushing you from inside that hey, I am ready and I want to speak. So that's what listening will do for you. Okay, and that's the role of listening. So the second major ingredient is speaking. So as listening is a data, listening is a software, okay, which is gonna get in your head, same as speaking is going to help your hardware. So speaking is going to put your mouth muscles, your hardware for practice. Okay, not just this, speaking is going to break your hesitation. Speaking is going to get you confidence. That's the role of speaking. That's the role of speaking in this major part. And there is a great combination of speaking and listening. As I always say in my videos, the more you will be consuming, the more you will be listening, the more you will be giving input to your ears, the more you will be able to produce, the more you will be able to speak, the more you will be able to give output. Okay, so there is no production without consumption. So consume a lot in order to produce a lot. So that's what listening and speaking, these 2 ingredients are gonna do in your English journey. Third major ingredient for your English fluency. Okay, So the third major ingredient is thinking. So what thinking is going to do? I know you feel that thinking in English is a really very difficult task. But no, you have no idea what a drastic changes, what a huge result you are going to see if you just develop this simple habit. And that's why it is in your major part. Okay? So what thinking in English is going to do? So as I always say one thing, that you have your conscious mind and you have your subconscious mind, and fluency comes when you transfer this language from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. So the gap in between, when you are going to fill this gap, thinking in English is going to help you a lot. Okay, so when you speak, when you practice with someone, what happens in your head? In your head, that process takes time. Okay, that process takes time, then it comes on your tongue, then you throw out, right? But if that thinking in English habit is not developed, it is gonna take much time. Okay, so the third and major most important ingredient, which most of the people they don't focus on, is thinking in English. Try, develop this habit, and I have already made video, you can see in somewhere in the corner. I have already made video, watch on it, that how to start thinking in English. It's really very easy job. Okay, so the third ingredient is thinking in English. Fourth ingredient, vocabulary. And why I have put vocabulary here? It's a study part, but you have to do. Let me tell you, when you try to speak with someone, obviously you are going to express your feelings, your desires, your emotions, your experiences, right? That's what you are going to share. And in order to share these things, in order to share these emotions, what you need? You need words. Right? That's why words equal to emotion. So when you have plenty of vocabularies, have you seen then if you have plenty of vocabularies, you don't feel frustrated because every word is there in your head, whatever you want in order to express your emotions. But when you don't have, when nothing is popping out in your head, have you noticed how frustrated you feel? Right? That's why I have put vocabulary in your major bucket. Okay, you need vocabulary. So I am not saying that you have to study, mug up, do redification of lot of vocabularies. No. I always say there is a very beautiful way of learning vocabulary. Surround yourself simply with LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, writing, and automatically you will be getting a lot of vocabularies. Apart from that, I have already shared reading. Reading is a great way. When you read, you get a lot of words, right? And the great way, but little bit effort you have to put is every day collect vocabularies. Okay, collect vocabularies or whatever previous vocabularies you have. Try to put these vocabularies in your speech. And here you need to put little bit effort. Little bit effort. Without effort, no. These vocabularies are not going to be active. Okay, so try to understand, if you really want to express your emotions, your feelings, your desires, you need vocabularies. And that's why vocabulary is the fourth major part. Okay, so now the fifth major ingredient which you are gonna focus on most. Okay, so the fifth ingredient is reading. Okay, so now let me tell you what reading is going to do for you. First thing is this: when you read, you get vocabularies in chunks, proper in sentence. And not just this, you just get proper sentences, exactly correct sentences in your head. And even you are excited to just put these sentences on your tongue. Okay, so first thing is this, that when you take this major part, this major ingredient, reading, so first benefit, what you are doing actually, that you are taking proper chunk, you are taking proper sentence on your tongue. Okay, second benefit is what reading is going to do for you. Reading is going to put your mouth muscles for English practice where no one is judging you. When you try to speak in English, you feel, people are judging me. No, I don't want to speak, people are judging me, right? But when you are reading, you are simply reading, right? So while reading, no one is judging you, okay? Because speaking is kind of little challenging, but reading is not that challenging and no one is judging you there. But still, while reading, you put your mouth muscles into English practice. You are using your jaws for English words, right? You are pronouncing English words, okay? So this is the second benefit you are going to get. Major benefit from this major ingredient, okay? And the third one and the best one. You learn how to organize your thoughts well. You know, when people speak, when they get nervous, like many things, they just mess up. They just mix up everything in their head, right? You learn how to organize your thoughts, how to start, how to say mid part, how to end it, how to give examples. Everything you learn when you read. You learn how to articulate, you learn how to organize your thoughts well. Okay, so these are the benefits you are going to get if you develop your reading habit. And you don't have this habit in choice. I have put this habit in majors. So you have to read. You are going to read. Now, let's talk about the rest of the 7 ingredients which are not very important right now, which are just in minor list. But still, I'm going to tell you little bit what are the benefits you are going to get, which you really do not need right now. Okay? So now, the first one is your pronunciation. So what you are going to get actually, with pronunciation, you will be able to speak very clearly. You will sound damn clear when you work on your pronunciation. But because you have just started your journey, so you do not need to focus on this thing that how clear you are going to sound right now. Okay? So you can skip this part, pronunciation. If you are interested, you can study, but you do not need it. Second, accents. You do not need to work on accent right now because accent is just going to add melody in your speech and you do not need any melody right now. Okay? Third, writing. Writing is a really very beautiful habit because it takes all your senses when you write. Okay? It's a great habit because I see that no, English beginners, they feel actually bored when they start this habit. They feel now English is really very difficult. So I would not suggest. Just put it in minor. So this is coming from minor, your writing skills, but what can happen? First thing is this, you learn how to organize your thoughts if you do writing. Okay? And one more thing, do you know when you start writing, when you write, before writing you have to think in English, right? So your mind is already getting pressurized for thinking in English. So that's the benefit you get. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You write, at the same time you have to think in English. Okay? So this is the benefit you are going to get from this minor part, but you do not need to focus on it much. Okay? Alright, let's move for the next. Phrases. So do I need to learn phrases this time and I have just started my journey? No, you do not need to work on phrases. Yeah, phrases are really very great. You just have to take the whole chunk. A sentence you have to put on your tongue and you just have to throw while speaking. I can understand. But you need phrases to make your speech crunchy, as well as you need phrase so you can connect your speech in a well manner, right? But right now, you do not need this. Okay? So don't focus on phrases. Next, voice modulation. Right now, as you can see, I am using voice modulation, right? Yes, I'm making some ups, I'm making some downs. Yes, this time I can do. But if you have started your journey or you are at lower intermediate level, this time you do not need any voice modulation. Flattened speech will work. When I started speaking in English, when I started my journey, I was with flattened speech. My speech was flat. Yeah, for me it was fine, but for other people it was not sounding that good. Okay, But this time you do not need to focus on this thing, that how I am going to do my voice up and down, here and there. You do not need this right now. Okay? Yes, you will be needed when you will get your upper intermediate level and your advanced level. Okay? So for now, skip. Next, grammar. Okay, the root cause of hesitation. Alright, so now I have put grammar in minor part. You do not need to study grammar right now. Do you want to know the real reason why I'm saying it? Because no matter how hard you will try to understand grammar part, but grammar will not make sense to you. Neither you are going to make sense for grammar, nor grammar will make sense to you. Yeah, when I started my journey, I had, I guess, 3-4 notebooks, big notebooks, and I was filling with a lot of tenses, this, that, everything. And when I started speaking, I was saying where I am using whatever I have learned there. I was so frustrated. So grammar is not going to make sense. Benefit is when you speak with correct grammar, yeah, you sound really very formal. It sounds so good when you speak with correct grammar. But at first, when you have just started your journey, and if you're going to focus on grammar right now, then believe it or not, it will not make sense to you. And you will get damn frustrated, and then you will say, English is so hard, it is really very difficult language, I'm not going to learn it. So don't focus. So that's why I have put this grammar part in minor part. Leave it. Side by side, very little study if you want to do. Very little study, like tenses, this, that, very little. Okay, if you want video on it, that what I need to study in grammar, by the way, I've already put it in minor part, sorry, but still if you want, I would make one video on it, that what are the important things, what are the important topics you have to study for grammar. If you are at lower intermediate or at beginner level. Okay, next minor ingredient, deep voice and gesture, your gesture postures. Listen to me. First thing is this, I am really very attracted towards deep voice, and I really want to make my voice deep. Now it is happening with me. When I started speaking, when I just started my journey, that time it was not. I didn't even know what does this mean. What does it mean, deep voice and all. So your gesture postures, first thing is this, because you have just started your journey and you are not that confident that you are going to speak in front of someone, right? Either you will be calling, either you will be talking on call or somewhere in an application, right? But you are not going to stand in front of someone. So you do not need gesture posture. So you do not need to focus on it right now. Okay? Yeah, many people when they tell that, what you have to study, yes, they add this, you have to use these gestures, postures in order to look confident, but you have just started. You do not need gesture postures, and you do not need deep voice this time. I am so attracted toward deep voice now. Earlier, I was not. I didn't even know, like, what does deep voice sound like, okay? But now I'm attracted. Now even I'm practicing how I can make my voice deep. Okay, so again, you do not need deep voice right now. You do not need to focus on it, or you do not need to focus on gesture postures. Okay, so these are the 12 ingredients for your English fluency recipe. So you are not going to focus on the minor ingredients now. Why? The reason is this, because now these minor ingredients are minor for you. It is not like making sense for you, right? But yeah, when you will be at your upper intermediate level, or maybe you are at your advanced level, then these minors will be majors for you. Then you can focus on these, right? But now you do not need. Okay, so these 5 majors which I have shared with you, focus on these 5 majors, focus on these 5 parts, and try to practice as much as you can. And I promise, if you do practice diligently, and if you are genuinely practicing these 5 with these 5 parts, then I'm telling you, you will get fluency soon. And yeah, I know people don't tell in, period. They don't tell time period. I am telling you time period. 6 months, you will get the taste. That, little taste. That how fluency sounds like. Little taste. In 1 year. Do you know when we take food in our mouth? That's how you will start feeling if you are going to dedicate your time properly. And if you think this language is important for you, no matter how busy you are, you will find time. Okay? So with this thing, now I'm gonna wrap up this video. I don't wanna exaggerate it. If you think this video has added any value in your speech, in your communication, please give thumbs up, share your comments, and keep supporting the way you have been supporting my channel, because your support gives me strength to make more such content for you English learners. So with this thing, let's meet in the next video. Bye-bye.